Welcome to the Concas family, where I have invaded their kitchen today to prepare a wonderful paella. And we will start a broth with fresh red snapper. I use the heads and some of the red snapper, extra virgin olive oil. First I'll take my onions, just a bunch of onions, and I measure by eye. My hand is my measuring cup. Red, green, and yellow pepper. Chopped to my taste. Garlic is a must. Freshly cut scallions. Asparagus. The heads, I say for the paella, a bunch of cilantro. And let all those flavors blend in, and the smell is wonderful. Red snapper, you could use any white fish that you wish. Snapper is an excellent choice. And the tails, and a piece of a chunk of red snapper. The rest we save for the paella. We will use a blending of Sazon Goya, it's the must in every dish. Let it sit for a little while so all those flavors blend in, and then we'll add water so that we have a thick broth that we will use for the paella. Now we add some tomato paste. I would say 3 teaspoons. Then we add the rest of the lobsters. As we peel the lobsters, everything that's left over from the lobsters, all the peelings, all the skin, everything goes in. I have to advise people who are making a paella, every cup of rice takes 2 cups of broth. Today we anticipate making 3 cups of rice, therefore we need 6 cups of broth, maybe a little bit more. Now we'll have 7 cups of hot water. I will add a little bit more because some of it evaporates. Now it will take at least 45 minutes to blend in and prepare the broth. We cover it so that we have a nice thick broth. It smells good. We'll be very generous about the olive oil. Start the onions and the garlic. Onions around, garlic in the center. And we let those flavors just blend in. We go ahead with the scallions. This is like a wedding. These are the wedding guests. And the tomatoes. Now the peppers. I'll add tomato paste. I used 3 tablespoons for the broth and the rest of the can for the paella. I will add, my daughter uses artichokes. I use asparagus, red snapper, chunks of red snappers, and we'll have a couple for each one of the guests, I hope. Those who are lucky to get a piece of red snapper. The shrimps we just don't leave there. We'll just let them in for just a few minutes, and we will remove them because the shrimp cannot be overcooked. Okay, see the shrimps? Can't overcook shrimps because they will not work out. Now we add calamari, octopus. Very generous. Azafran, as we say in Spanish. Saffron, the add is the best. This is a very expensive spice, but very good indeed. This is the lobster. Some lobster in there. But just seal the lobster because we're going to remove it too. Like the shrimps, they cannot be overcooked. And then we will pour in the rice in shape of a cross. we have poured in 3 cups of rice. Let it sit for a little while. We're ready to get the broth. Or just make sure that the flavor is perfect. To me, it's perfect. It's time to pour in the, I'm gonna measure 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
and a little bit more. Now once the broth is poured in, we allow it to sit until it dries up. As I said,
What's that?
that is Sazon.
Sazon. It's Sazon.
The green, the cilantro, the asparagus, it's just a blending of colors. Adding some clams here and there. Mussels. As much fun it is to eat it, it's much fun to prepare it, especially among friends. Nothing goes to waste with our lobster. They were live lobsters that unfortunately met their demise here at the Concas family home. Now we could add the lobster meat. This is the time to add the shrimps. It is with great joy that today I praise the Lord for all these blessings and to be among the family that I love so much. The last ingredient I will add are sweet peas. Paella now has to be left alone for some time. We have to cover it with aluminum foil. Okay, now, again, we go for a glass of wine and wait till this baby is over. We cannot have a paella without a good sangria. We start with pink sugar, 5 teaspoons of sugar. I will add my orange juice. As you see, have sparkling water, lime flavor. That bubbly feeling of good sangria. We will add lime juice. I usually add the oranges so that all this goes together. You could use it with white wine, and you'll make a white sangria, which is also good. And some cognac. Give it that kick.
Hi guys. I'm really good at this.
Just I pour, I don't even measure, I just pour.
Put more.
A little bit generous. A little bit more orange juice. Strawberries. These are very colorful drinks. More oranges. I usually don't pour the ice in the sangria mix because it will water it down. As I serve it, I just put some cubes of ice. Ooh, and to the Cancas family, cheers! Mmm. Okay, we're going to start our Caesar salad. Never use a knife to cut your romaine. You just use your fingers. Somehow, I don't know where I saw this, and I used to cut it with a knife, but the expert taught me not to do it, so I'm following those that know more than me. Perfect Caesar salad dressing, according to my taste. I start with an egg white, garlic, fresh garlic, of course. Worcestershire sauce, not too much. A little bit of salt, a bit of lemon. And of course, you can't have Caesar salad without anchovies. I use anchovy paste. I'm generous with the paste. A bit of olive oil. Some people skip the olive oil, I just don't. I'm addicted to olive oil. And Parmesan cheese. I put the chunks of it because that's the way I like it. And you have it right there. You will smother all that into this lettuce and it will be excellent. Voila! All coming together. Mmm, what a feast. Let's see. Mmm.
Well, this is a very well paella, and this is one nice piece of lobster. And remember, if you want more videos like this one, please let us know. And don't forget to hit the bell, subscribe, and like. And I'll see you in the next recipe.
Yo soy la reina de las pantallas, la reina del pantalleo. I have to add in a footnote about how I was engaged in making paellas and all dishes. I was never a good cook when I was growing up. As a matter of fact, I hated to cook. Years later, when I had my kids and I moved to Puerto Rico, and I had to do the cooking because I no longer had my mother, my neighbors, and my mother-in-law. So somehow I started experimenting, and I started cooking basic stuff, and people said it was good. Later, during the pandemic times, when I was alone in my house in Puerto Rico, it was very lonely for everybody, but I always thought of the homeless, and one of my entertainments, one of the things I did to entertain myself was spend the day in my kitchen cooking, and I would prepare little bags, and I would go around at night, because we were not allowed to go out, and just share it with the homeless. And the joy in their faces was just amazing. And I remember one time when I treated the regulars, as I call them, to a paella. And I have to say, I was inspired by my daughter Viviana to learn how to make paella. She's a very good paella maker. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Jose Capo, a good friend of ours, who was the first one who made paellas at my home during my years in Connecticut. He would come to our home, Father's Day, birthdays, special events, and I saw everything he brought along, and I thought it was such a complicated process. I thought I would never cook something so complicated. Lo and behold, then Pepe, from who I inherited his paellera, but mostly Viviana, my daughter, inspired me, and Mikey, who has announced that it looks wonderful, but he will not eat of it.
It smells so good. It smells so good, but I don't want any of it.
Mikey, you're like your mother. Jesus. Open the door for me. You're going to edit that, right? Mikey.
How does it feel to not have to work today?
Well, it feels good, especially when you eat in this beautiful thing. You know, look. It is just gorgeous. Look right there. All the mussel and rice.